Okay, so in the last video we got all of our centers completely solved. So we have all of them right. Your next step is you are going to have to solve 10 edges. So this is an edge set of 2. All of these are edge sets of 2, and we're going to need to find 10 matches before we go to the next step. So what I always like to do is I like to pick my white edges first. So I see a blue and white here, and I see a blue and white here. Your first step is you have to get them opposite of each other with opposite colors on the same face. So I'll say that again. They have to be on opposite sides of the cube as each other with opposite colors up. So this one has a white up and a blue over here. This has a blue up and a white facing that way. What you are going to do in this step is called a slice. You are going to slice this piece over to make this a match. Move it over this way. Sub in a piece that was already wrong, and then undo those steps you just did. What that's going to do is it's going to leave this solved, but it's going to leave all of the faces still solved. Okay? So I'm going to do that 10 different times in this video. This step does take the most effort, and you just kind of have to tinker with it a little bit as you go through it. So I have an orange and white here, and an orange and white right next to it. So remember, my first step is to get them on opposite sides of one another with opposite colors facing up. So this one has a white up, this has an orange up, so we should be good. I'm going to make sure that I have a piece here that is not matched, which it is not. So I'm going to slice it over, move this face once, sub in the side that I don't want, move this back, move that back in again. And now I have the orange side solved and the blue side with the white. So I have these two red and white pieces, but if you notice, they are on opposite sides of each other, but they do not have a white side up and a red side up. So I'm going to need to move that around slightly. And now I have a white side up and a red side up. So I'm going to slice it across. This piece should be able to just sub in there, sub it in, move it back, slide it up. Okay. Last one, I have two greens opposite of each other. So I'm going to have to get them opposite of each other with a different color face, facing me. So now I have a white and a green one. And this piece is solved. So I'm not going to want to substitute that in on my slice, but I can sub in this one because it is not solved. So it's going to be the same thing, but this time you're going to move it to the right, move that piece in, slide it back, slide it back. You're basically moving something, putting things where it should be, sliding it once, subbing out a piece, and then redoing your steps. So all my white sides are now solved. So it looks like I have now a couple more sides solved. Let's go with orange and yellow since I have those right here. So I have them orange and yellow, and I'm going to need a piece to sub in. So do we see this is a match, and we see this is a match. So I'm going to look. I have another match there. Perfect. That is not a match. I always want to have a non-match in one of these so I can sub it in easily. So I'm going to slide that over, move this face once, sub in this broken piece, slide it back, slide it back. Okay, we're getting closer. So I like to keep all my faces on the same side. All right, so let's move this piece. I have a red and a yellow, and I have a broken piece here, so that works perfectly. And remember, I have red and yellow, and they have an opposite color facing me. So I'm going to slice that over, I'm going to rotate that once, sub in the broken piece, move it back, and then slide it one more time. Okay, and that makes me think we have 10 sides solved. So I'm going to leave these two here because they're broke. That's good, good, matching, and we are. So that I got 10 of the edges done, and now in our next step we're going to see how to do our last two edges. There are a couple steps on this next one.